I built this Halloween castle, and from it I created Halloween Week, which was a set of 7 tutorials meant to show off a new spooky build each day. These builds included the Witch's Cauldron, the stained glass window, library, pit to the underworld, fall trees, the cemetery, and Frankenstein's lab. Feel free to check out those tutorials if you want to make these builds for yourselves, but otherwise this is going to be a build tour and behind the scenes video. But of course, how could I forget introductions? My name is Kash, that's Kash with a K, and welcome to this build tour. Okay, I guess before we get started, let's talk a bit about this castle. It's based on Gothic architecture, and I really wanted it to feel evil, unsettling, unnatural, just something you really want to avoid. If you'd like to see the build process I used to create this castle, I will be uploading a video about a week after this one goes live, showing just that. I really wanted to get in the Halloween spirit and share some Halloween-themed tutorials with all you. But anyway, let's get started with this build tour. We are going to start in chronological order, so that means the Witch's Cauldron. If we head over to the Witch's Brewing Room, as you can see, we have the cauldron right here. This is what the room is based around. We have shelves with different types of ingredients, have a library and enchanting table here showing how magical this place is, and some books, maybe a spellbook right here. The Witch's Cauldron is what inspired this whole Halloween week. I used basically the same design in my caravan on my Cashcraft survival server, and after seeing this cauldron and realizing I could use it in a Halloween build, I decided to build this castle and create Halloween week. Moving on, we come to the stained glass window. As you can see, it's a bit of an eye design, and the colors of the castle really just give this ominous feel, make the castle feel alive, feel like it's watching you. And the effect definitely applies inside as well. And then we have this stained glass window right here. It's right below the eye, and I kind of went for something like creepy. Like we have this little almost smile thing right here, make it look like a one-eyed creature smiling at you. I don't know, that just seems creepy, and I feel like it fits the castle. I wasn't originally going to do stained glass windows, but as I was building the castle, I just put some glass here as a filler, and I ended up thinking, oh, why don't I put stained glass here, add to the whole aesthetic, and that's how the stained glass windows were born. Going over to the creative world that I used to test all my builds, we have some stained glass windows I came up with right here. I did an Enderman just to make it, recognizable, and then we have an attempt at the Wednesday window, the one between Wednesday and I forget her roommate's name, but yeah, I try to recreate that right here, but these were super fun to put together. And then we have arguably my favorite build of Halloween week, the library. When you first come in, you just see walls of books. You see this upper floor. Looking to the left, we see this nice little corner of the library, the calm painting, the light, the ladder. We have a little reading nook right here. Going up the stairs, we have a fireplace and just some more paintings, books. I love the contrast of this warm, cozy library compared with the harsh, unrelenting castle. It's just a nice switch up and makes us feel like a bit of a sanctuary inside such a evil and unnatural place. This was the second build I came up with for Halloween week, and I fell in love with the idea when I came up with it. There's something very inviting about libraries, but also making it look a bit run down, and adding some other stuff like these candles makes it feel just a little bit spooky. So yeah, while maybe not the most Halloween themed build, it definitely has a spooky elements, but I absolutely love how it turned out. And after that, we have the pit to the underworld. I made this using layers of stained glass, just doing a layer of glass, layer of air, glass, air, and I think I did that about 7 times to get this effect, putting red and orange glass in at different layers to give it this 3D kind of fiery effect. It's funny how this came to be. When I was coming up with Halloween week ideas, this was an idea, but I wasn't planning on doing it. I was originally going to do a giant witch's hat and put it on the front of my castle, but I did that, realized it looked just really silly and not something I wanted to do for Halloween week. So last second I changed from this to this. And what's ironic is that this was my most popular build video by far. Like 10 times more popular, which is so funny considering how last minute it was, but I think it looks really cool. This pit definitely adds to the supernatural and evil vibe going on with this castle, so I absolutely love it. And then just around the corner, we have the fall trees. We have some orange and red trees going on, along with some bare trees, and then just like a little path winding through the forest, some vegetation, and just general nature stuff. It looks like you're outside, but you see the walls poking through the vegetation, which again lends itself to that unnatural aspect of the castle. It actually took me a long time to figure out how to make the right color trees. I came up with this red one pretty quickly, but finding yellow, orange, and even green slash yellow took a long time. Just spent so much time scrolling through like a creative menu, just pulling out blocks that might work. But yeah, it just took a bunch of tests, which I destroyed unfortunately, to come up with these. These are also one of the builds I'm most proud about. I wasn't sure how I was going to do this, but I think they turned out super well. And when I set it tonight, we get this, a very like dimly lit forest. You don't really know how it's lit. It gives off a very creepy vibe. I mean, it's something watching you from behind a tree. And then at the back of the forest, we have a little cemetery right here. Just some simple gravestones in various states of disrepair. Some of them have fresh dirt, some of them have flowers remembering the dead. Just a nice little corner of the forest that is also kind of creepy that you have to walk through an entire forest to find a graveyard off by itself. It was surprisingly hard to make these gravestones, especially on this scale. There aren't many gray blocks you can use that are able to give a lot of detail on such a small scale, so it definitely took some messing around, some idea testing to figure this out. And last but not least, we have Frankenstein's lab. We have the operating table right here, Frankenstein's monster getting up and starting to walk around, some weird like instruments that helped him come alive. We have some wires coming from these machines going to the roof, presumably to a lightning rod that is used to create the monster. And then just other machinery, a desk with some research notes, some weird spare parts, maybe a tank holding the fluid that gives the life to the monster. Just an antique laboratory that gives a very mad scientist type vibe and really pays attention to the era in which Frankenstein was created. Although, real talk, you know that meme that's like, oh look, a strawberry, and then that just repeats getting more and more unhinged each time? I kind of felt that this week. It was a grind getting all of these tutorials created, filmed, edited, and sent out as shorts. I was shocked by how long it takes to make a short video, but it was all worth it. These builds turned out great, and Frankenstein is not an exception. I also didn't realize you could use armor stand generators online to create custom looking armor stands. I thought that was only possible with mods, but it's not. If you just look up armor stand command generator, you can make really any armor stand you want, and it looks amazing, even though this is completely vanilla. So yeah, that is all of the builds. They were super fun to put together. I learned so much from this building process. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this build tour and behind the scenes. And I know I have a bunch of new subscribers. I just want to say welcome to the channel. I hope this gives a bit of insight into who I am as a YouTuber and as a builder. So yeah, I hope you stick around and enjoy my content. And once again, the build video for this castle will be uploaded about a week after this video goes live. With that being said, that wraps us up for this build tour. Thank you so much for watching again, and have a great day.